welcome to another episode of Tiki Enlightenment with yours truly, Dave the Comb-Over. Today in the Comb-Over Cabana, we're diving into the Navy Grog, a cocktail so strong it could convince a sailor to marry a mermaid and start a shellfish farm. Unlike Jesse here, who gets seasick in a bathtub. And here's Jesse, my reluctant sidekick. He's here to mix the drink while I do all the important stuff. Telling the story and looking fantastic.
Great. I'll handle the dangerous part, measuring liquid. You try not to pull a muscle, patting yourself on the back.
Let's hoist anchor with a little history, shall we? Picture this. It's 1740. The British Royal Navy is basically a floating frat house. The sailors are rowdy, drunk on straight rum. They're dangerously close to either dying of scurvy or staging a mutiny.
You know, it's not like somebody stole their powdered wig or something.
Enter Vice Admiral Edward Vernon, nicknamed Old Grog, because he wore a nasty waterproof cloak made of grogum fabric. What a trendsetter! And this guy had a brilliant / controversial idea. What if we watered down the daily rum rations? Which at the time was basically like saying, let's cancel happy hour forever. Damn, it's just a story.
And that's how the Navy invented sadness.
Exactly. But old Grog wasn't done. He added lime juice to the mix, which accidentally became one of the earliest proto cocktails and helped cure scurvy. So, now that sailors are hydrated, vaguely healthy, and only half as mutinous.
Honestly, those are better results than most corporate wellness programs.
Fun fact, the mixture was called Grog, and it caught on like cannon fire. Eventually, that simple rum-water-lime combo evolved, especially when Donn the Beachcomber got his hands on it 200 years later. He turned that drink into the 3-rum tidal wave we're making today.
And lo, the first cocktail was born out of fear, malnutrition, and a serious lack of HR policies.
Now, once Vernon's Grog took hold, the Royal Navy didn't just pass it around willy-nilly. No!
Oh, hell no!
They had a whole ritual for it. They mixed it in massive barrels called grog tubs, big beat-up wooden vats chained to the deck like holy relics. These things were guarded like treasure chests. They actually had junior officers, Rum Bosuns, posted to supervise with real cutlasses. Darr! Shiver me timbers! You skipped the line. You lost a finger. Whoa!
Bruh. So hey kid, what was your first job in the Navy? I was guarding a barrel of watered down hooch. Like, well done, carry on.
And the tubs themselves, made of oak and seasoned like cast iron skillets. Some of them were engraved with slogans like, the Queen, God, and Grog. Priorities, Jesse.
Faith, monarchy, and getting buzzed before noon. Good stuff. You know, when you realize these guys basically took over the world, it kind of makes you want to start drinking.
This went on for 200 years! Until the brass decided that maybe giving sailors high-proof rum before operating sonar equipment wasn't ideal.
Who put all these blinky dots on my sonar screen? Was it you? I'm a professional sailor.
So, on July 31st in 1970, they ended the daily rum rations entirely. The day was so grim it earned the name Black Tot Day. Sailors wore black armbands, held mock funerals, then poured out their final tots like a fallen comrade.
They canceled happy hour and called it modernization.
Yup, because apparently running nuclear submarines and chugging 114 proof Demerara doesn't mix. Spoil sports. Old Blue Eyes himself was a fan of Donn's Navy Grog. Rumor has it, he used to drink it at the Palm Springs Donn the Beachcomber location. If it's good enough for Frank Sinatra, it's good enough for you. Now grab your shaker, Jesse. We're going to recreate this version that came centuries later, made legendary by Donn the Beachcomber himself. This isn't the British Navy's watered down mess. This is liquid cannon fire in your Tiki mug. Start with 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice. No, not that plastic green bottle of regret. A real lime, Jesse. Squeeze it like your paycheck depends on it.
I'm guessing our usual demographic might remember. But for the rest of you who are old enough to drink responsibly, Frank Sinatra was the Drake of his day, only without that whole beef with Kendrick. Wait, I'm getting paid? Well, that paycheck is about as real as your hairline. Paycheck? There isn't enough money in this budget to buy you real legs. Paycheck. This guy. Ugh. Fake hair, fake paycheck. You got some dry slimes, man.
Next, a 1/2 ounce of the white grapefruit juice. Don't skip. It has a bitter citrus bite that says, I might be classy, but I want to fight a sea monster.
Grapefruit juice, because we didn't get it before. Let's get ready to rumble! No? Ooh, tough crowd. This drink is turning into a citrus crime scene. Can you describe the person who juiced you, ma'am?
Good. Now toss in 3/4 of an ounce of the honey syrup. Think of it as naval rations, but sticky, golden, and without the weevils.
You paint the worst mental images ever. You're the chat GPT of painting mental pictures. Bob Ross paints your mental pictures without a brush. Who paints your mental pictures? Banksy? Actually, that could be flattering, right? Now your mental picture is worth $10 million.
This video is brought to you by Wilderness Adventure Goods.
They finally found somebody who, is willing to pay him other than swizzle sticks.
At Wilderness Adventure Goods, we craft legendary overproof rum crates. Perfect for showing off your tiki mugs, bottles, and questionable life choices.
They come in styles like rustic and shipwrecked. So your shelf can look like it survived either a pirate raid or just one of Dave's cocktail parties. I survived Dave's cocktail parties, what's the big deal?
And we've got crates with theme stickers too. And if you're a fan of Adventureland vibes or Jimmy Buffett's Parrot Head Paradise, beep 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 beep.
Does this make my butt look big? The chicks do the shipwreck look.
It's like vacation decor without a sunburn. So go to wildernessadventuregoods.com to grab your overproof rum crate today, because your tiki mugs deserve better than those crappy Swedish shells. Bernie.
When I'm a pirate on the weekends, this is what I store my booty in.
You're welcome. Now we attack with 1 ounce of Demerara.
Come on.
Demerara Rum, a molasses-heavy brute, straight out of Guyana. This isn't your grandma's rum cake mixer. This is the stuff sailors drank when they needed courage. An excuse? Or just a way to forget that they've been at sea for 9 months without a bath. It's bold, smoky, and has the rich, deep flavor that says, I may have scurvy, but at least my drink has character.
So, Liquid Therapy Colonial Edition. Look, it's making the noise! Yay. Alright, that's 1 ounce. Yeah, Anemia Demerara. What a lovely name for a maritime malady.
Exactly! Demerara Rum's got soul. It's aged longer, has real bite, and it brings out the kind of flavor that makes your eyebrows raise and your regrets disappear.
Ugh, smells like you just punched your mom and walked away cool about it.
That's because you did. Demerara Rum is the backbone of the strength. Without it, your Navy Grog is just a tipsy lemonade stand. Follow that up with 1 ounce of Jamaican rum. Funky, bold, the kind of rum that smells like it's been on an adventure and might still owe you some money.
Smells like a pirate's laundry hamper. Smells like it still has 3 years on a stretch for breaking and entering. The noise! Glug, splash.
Perfect! Now finally, 1 ounce of the light Puerto Rican rum. It's to balance things out. This is your diplomat. Smooth, polite, and just here to keep the others from burning the place down.
Now it's a rum PTA meeting. Wait, all 3 parents? There's 3? That doesn't make sense. So one of these is the ex coming out to the PTA meeting. You weren't involved. You weren't invited. Who the are you? This isn't my kid's teacher. What the is this class? PTA.
And crushed ice. Not cubes. Not pebbles. Crushed. It should sound like a ship breaking through Arctic doom.
Because you say f***ing cubes are for asshole. F***ing cubes. It ain't crushed. This is bullshit. It's more like the sound of my soul cracking. But you don't care, do you? Keep painting those mental pictures.
Now shake it. Shake it like you're trying to dislodge the last shred of dignity after karaoke night.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I nailed my rendition of Brandy. I nailed my version of Afternoon Delight. You wouldn't know I nailed my rendition of Shake It Off. It's the only song I know. That's seriously the only Taylor Swift song I know. Woo, that's cold.
Strain it into a double old-fashioned glass.
Gilligan. Every drop. Still going. This is the honey, I think. Okay. Ooh, that's sharp. I have a mug with your face on it, Dave. It's where I keep my disappointment. And other things.
You do like me.
So fancy. Well, here it is. The Navy Grog. 3 rums, 2 citrus elements, and 1 very questionable backstory. Yeah, I think my gums just enlisted.
Woo! That's got the strength of a sailor's handshake and the grace of a sea shanty. You did well, Jesse. That may be your finest grog yet. Donn the Beach would be so proud.
I'll take that as the highest form of praise, or mild heat stroke. You know, it may stop people from thinking grog is just pirate electrolytes.
Now, at last the recipe. This is the treasure map, kids. To the Navy Grog. May it forever sink your bad decisions into the briny deep. Alright, listen up, you hooligans. We have fun here. We make drinks. We make bad decisions. But not that bad.
Yeah, drinking and driving is about as smart as using a tiki torch as a curling iron. What curling iron? Woo! What hairs am I curling with a tiki torch?
You drink, you don't drive. Simple. Call a cab, get a ride, or just sleep on your buddy's questionable couch.
Better yet, stay at home, drink responsibly, like this. And even better than that, keep watching our videos. Subscribe. Like and subscribe.
See? Smart thinking. Now be safe, be responsible, and pour me another, Jesse.
And lo, the first cocktail was born out of fear, malnutrition, and a serious lack of HR policies.
Did you say and though?
And lo.
That's great.
That's, and lo, and here cometh the Lord. It's very biblical.
Yeah,
so
that's
I gotta read it as is.
No, that sounds awesome though.
And thus, the first cocktail was born out of fear, malnutrition, and a serious lack of HR policies.